Hey guys, how's everybody doing tonight? Tom here. So, Sushi Imperiale by Bois 1920. I don't know, there are a couple of things that come to mind when I use this fragrance and wear it, and it has absolutely, the fragrance itself, it's an Italian house fragrance. The smell of it has absolutely nothing that I can equate to Japan. But because of the name, I guess, there are a couple of memories that come to mind when I wear this fragrance because of the name sushi, and it's always equated to Japan, and because I ate so much sushi when I was over there at the fish market in Tokyo, and so it's just, that's always what comes to mind is Japan because of the sushi and the name. So interesting story, before going over to Japan, read the geisha in Japan, or Mako as they're called, are like celebrities over there, and they're, the kimonos and everything that they wear can cost upwards of $100,000, and they're like movie stars more or less, and they're rarely seen. We went to Kyoto, and that's the home of many of the geisha. And so we weren't expecting, I was praying that we would see one because it's incredibly unusual to see a real one out. They come out toward evening when they're going to clients' functions or to parties, but they're scurrying around and jumping into cabs, and you rarely see them. Very much like celebrities in that they don't like to be photographed, so I didn't think there would be any chance that I would actually see one when I got over there. We got on a train from Kyoto. It was one of the high-speed trains, the Shinkansen, that they have that go, I don't know how many, 100 and some miles an hour, travel at lightning speed. And we were going from Kyoto to Himeji to see Himeji Castle. And right across the aisle from us was the Mako. And I was absolutely stunned and thrilled, and I know you're not supposed to photograph them because they immediately turn away or shy away. So I just kind of casually took my video camera and flipped it over like I was recording my friend. And I'm, just recording him, and then I just real quick, whoop, got the picture of her on the train in full makeup and dress. And it was an awesome moment, and that's always what I think of when I use, for whatever reason, Sushi Imperiale. So that's just my little story of the evening that has nothing to do with an Italian fragrance house, but okay, so this is a best-in-class review this evening. If you've watched my previous reviews, you know what that means, so I won't go into that. But a little bit of the history around Bois 1920. Guido Galardi opened, it was called Bottega Italiana Spigo in Florence in the 20s. And it was a perfumery because of his love of fragrance and scent, which closed 5 years later in 1925. So it was opened in 1920, closed in 1925. His son, Renato, showed no interest in continuing the perfumery, the family business, so he closed it in 1925. It then skipped a generation to the grandson, Enzo, who was interested in fragrance and began to study scent and fragrance as a teenager. Enzo then entered the business in 1985 and founded Bois 1920 in 2005. And in honor of his grandfather, he reinterpreted many of his grandfather's original formulas, using only the best raw materials and ingredients. So this is Sushi Imperiale. This is the 100 milliliter. It's an eau de toilette. It has notes of citrus, pepper, nutmeg, cinnamon, Madagascan vanilla. It is an extremely beautiful gourmand. It is breathtakingly fabulous, in my opinion. And as a top contender in my mind in the gourmand category, I think even might best, dare I say it, like Ombre Narguilé, or some of those that I love so much. So just absolutely stunning fragrance. The top is supposedly containing bergamot, mandarin orange, lemon, the mid, pepper, nutmeg, jasmine, rose, star anise, and cinnamon, and then in the base, sandalwood, vetiver, patchouli, and tonka. The bottles are incredible. Let me get an up close here. You can see that. Horrible glare, I know. And the top, upside down. They're created in small batches, and they're bottled in sandblasted flacons with engraved wood stoppers. Supposedly, from what they say, one handcrafted bottle takes 5 hours to make. I don't know if the truth of that, but just an incredible, beautiful scent. The top, you get the notes of a little bit bergamot and a little bit of that mandarin orange and lemon just right off the bat. But then it settles down into this sweet, delicious gourmand. There's a little hint of pepper in it, which rounds out the sweetness nicely, but I pick up on a lot of the nutmeg and a lot of the tonka. And what it reminds me of is like a spiced rum Christmas type drink. I don't know about the rum necessarily because that's not listed here, but you get a lot of the tonka and a lot of the nutmeg cinnamon combination. I don't necessarily smell apple, but it brings to mind apple pie. But I get like a festive holiday dinner. This would be totally awesomely perfect, like for Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving. Just it's that lingering, spicy, foodie scent. It actually, when I'm hungry, makes me salivate. It reminds me of, like I said, a delicious spiced, like a hot buttered rum drink. Like, I keep alluding to rum. I know there is no rum note in this, but it's just that whole illusion and idea of like a cinnamon spiced drink, or an apple pie, or some type of cinnamon spiced pudding that you get with it. I would say definitely fall and winter. The longevity isn't as good as it could be. I get about 4.5, 5 hours of it, and then I have to reapply. That's the only thing with this. But I don't mind reapplying. I could take a bath in it. It is my favorite of the line. Love the presentation, love the bottle. I just think it's a beautiful, rich fragrance. I think it's perfectly suitable for a man or a woman. You know, it leans a little on the women's side as far as like the tonka and the jasmine rose note a little bit, but also on the man's side, the patchouli and the vetiver and a little of that sandalwood bring it down into the masculine territory. So it's perfect, in my opinion, perfectly unisex and a delicious gourmand. I could see it beautiful in fall and winter, also good in the cooler days of spring probably. If you know my reviews at all, you know for me, I don't really pay a lot of attention to temperature. It doesn't matter to me when the weather heats up. I think it brings out the scent better for me, so that doesn't bother me. I could see where it would bother some people in the heat though, because it's really more suited to holiday time and cooler weather. Definitely check this one out. Grab a sample if you can, because they are absolutely incredible fragrance house. And this one is just beautiful. I'd be curious to know which fragrances were the original 1920s formulation from the perfumery, the original perfumery. Unfortunately, I didn't find anything on that, so if anyone would happen to know, I would love to get your input. But that's my take on Sushi Imperiale by Bois 1920. Hope you guys enjoy the review. If you have this fragrance or have any experience with it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for subscribing. I'm rounding up to near 300 subscribers now, so that's so appreciative of that. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.